we see many of the evolutionists like to use carbon dating as a resourceful way to tell how old fossils are, according to a reputable website known as New York Times. And through this they say the atmosphere is made up of 100 miles, and 78% of it is nitrogen, 21% is oxygen, 0.6% is carbon dioxide, and 0.0000765% is made up of radiation carbon. Now, whenever the Earth is struck by, say, a solar flare, many of y'all know what that is, right? It's basically when a part of the sun, it lashes out almost like a heat wave towards the Earth, which causes the radiation from the radiation carbon to come into the Earth, which then goes into us. And every year there's 21 pounds of radiation carbon that is put into everything, like these chairs, me, this wall, everything contains it. Whether it's living or not, it doesn't matter, because it seeps in through anything you can basically look at. Through this, the evolutionists use the carbon inside of it to tell whether or not whether it's a tree or a bone structure of some kind of fossil. It can tell whether or not how old it is by gauging how much carbon-14 is in it. And according to Answers in Genesis, this is almost a false way to put it, because a half-life, as some of you know, shout out to math class, half-life is it's basically half of every certain time period goes by, there's half of what you have before. Say there's 100,000 of carbon. Every, say, 10 years, 5,000 is taken off. And then half of that is taken off, and then half of that's taken off. So over time, you get smaller and smaller samples. And evolutionists like to use this as a way to tell how old something is, as I said before. But in reality, this isn't a reliable way, because the less carbon you have, the less likely you'll be able to tell how old it is. Because if we go back to 300 million years ago, we wouldn't have, or if we dig up a fossil that's 300 million years old, then there wouldn't be any carbon-14 left inside of this fossil, because it'd be too old to distinguish from anything else during that time period. And many of the scientists misgauge through carbon dating how old something is. There have been fossils that have been recorded to have been almost 3,000 years supposedly off date from where it's supposed to be. And because of this, we can see that evolution might just be only a theory.
So the three main points that we've gone over are transitionary fossils debunked, the biblical flood, and the flawed dating methods.
Now, through our 3 points, we can review that these Lucy pieces we see today in a so-called missing link can be better seen as just a theory.
Good job.